What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another mystery box video. But in this episode, it's Kingroon. Let's get into it. Alright, so we get to unbox another batch of mystery filament. And this one's from Kingroon. I've actually never used Kingroon filament before, so I'm really excited to try this out. Let's get in here and see what colors they've sent us. Past two mystery boxes have been kind of crazy filaments, like silks, color changing. I have no idea what's going to be in these boxes. And I told them I wanted to do a mystery box video with the filament, so that's why it's wrapped all crazy in the black. They knew I didn't want to know what was in the box. Goodness gracious. Just let me in. Hopefully I don't need those to get into the rest of these, but we'll start with this one. Ooh, okay. First one. Looks like it's a gray. It is a gray. My goodness. All right, so that'll be interesting. If they're all PETG, that's gonna be quite different than my last videos. Okay, completely different box. Let's see what this one is. White, cardboard spool. PLA. Cool. We're back in PLA territory. I feel more at home here. So we have a PETG and a PLA. Next. Those can't really go together. So that'll be two separate prints. Minimum. Green. Ooh, a silk. Okay. And this one is also a PLA silk, so that's good. I can use the PLAs together. And it looks like it's like a blue-green, or it says yellow, blue, green. Okay. Cool. Next. Looks like another color changer. Okay. Rainbow Forest. Another PLA silk. Interesting. Okay, so maybe you can see right there, but that's cool. And then the last one. Yellow. Another PETG. Okay, so that's cool. So I can use the yellow and the gray to find something cool for the PETG. And then each of these can go with the white. That'll be nice. All right. I really like this setup. I'm excited. Let's jump in the computer and find some prints. All right, so we are in the computer and we are ready to start finding some models for this Kingroon filament. Usually, I would like to go into Illustrator, show you guys my design process, come up with something myself. But as you just saw, the filaments that they sent were the silk PLAs. And in prior videos, anytime I design something myself, the silk doesn't turn out exactly the way that I want. So I'm going to save some time and some effort, and I'm going to go to Makerworld, and I'm going to find some free designs to print so that I can get a good idea for what this filament can do. Then, just like the last video, I'm going to find a creator, I'm going to pick some of their designs, and I'm going to work through those as well. We have a lot to do. Let's get in the computer and see what's going on. Okay, so we have the two silk PLAs. We have the white that I can use with the silks, which will be nice. And then we have the two PETGs, which will be more difficult, I think, to find something, just because I'm not as familiar with what should use PETG. But I still think we can make it work. I have no idea. I'm just going to start somewhere. That's really cool. This is very cute. This is practical. Could be used for the PETG. I do have remotes, but they would never stay in the container. My son would steal them. Let's see if there's any more skulls that have been added to. Ooh, this is cool. It's a different kind of skull. It's a Frankenstein skull. Frankenstein's green. I have green color changing filament. Interesting. Let me take a look at it. Alright, I'm into this. They didn't change any settings at all. It's just standard 0.2. Are you for real? 15% infill. No issues at all. Looks sick. Alright, yeah, I'm definitely printing this one in the green. One of the greens. So that is for sure on the list. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Billy Hooper. Let's go back to his things, actually. Let's see what else he has in his store. Or his Makerworld. Lots of cool things. I think I almost printed that in the last video. Go back. Let's see what else we can find. Mini ghost set. I do have white. But is there anything better? Wow! These are some insane designs. Okay, I think this piece could be good for the Pet G. I wasn't originally going to print an airplane, but it's so cute. I'm just fascinated by this designer. Okay, these are all separate pieces, which is nice. They have it in here as Polyterra. I'm gonna run it on my usual filaments. Oh, but I'm printing it with the Pet G. So I need my Pet G profiles. Could be trickier. Okay. We're gonna run this, hopefully, with the Pet G. We've got our first print. Second print, because I'm doing the other one too. Man, I just love all of these models. I can't spend any more time looking at these, but I love them. These are so good. I'll print this one with the Pet G too, because I just love it. Okay, I've got to move on, but I am just so happy to find this designer. Follow, absolutely. And we will collect for YouTube. Alright, so don't be surprised if in the reveal I've printed lots of this guy's things, because they're just so cute, and all of the reviews say that they printed well. How could I not? So we have some ideas for the Pet G. That part is easier than I thought it was going to be. Let's go back. We still need more for the color changing filaments. I don't have any black though. I only have green. It's Halloween. I wish I had orange, but I don't. I have green. Green. I gotta find something to use for the green. This is cool. This one's cool. Okay. These. I like these. Because there's 3 different sizes. I can print all 3 different sizes. 40 hours. 1.3 kilograms. Why? Love the design. I've printed a few different scales. Okay, I'll try it in some scales and see what happens. Okay, so they are massive. I can print them smaller, which will help. Okay, let's see how they all look at 70%. But 70% almost seems too small. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You'll see in the final reveal. These pots will get printed, whether they are large, small, who knows. Next, we need a couple more. So we've got a planter. What do we have? A planter, the airplane for Pet G, and this guy's other models for the Pet G. The Frankenstein. So we got our skull taken care of. We have our planter taken care of. Maybe some like fidgets or something. I always like doing the fidgets. This one could work. Because I have that white filament, I could do the white, and then I could do the silks in the face. Alright, we've got a lot to get us started. I'm going to get some filaments loaded, start printing, and I'm sure we'll be back in the computer at some point throughout this video. Heading downstairs, loading some filaments. See you when I see you. Alright, time to open up some filament and get it running in the printer. So, the Pet G I know is going for those trucks and planes and things. So we'll get this out of here. This is probably going to be the trickier of the two for me to get figured out. But maybe not. Maybe it'll just be super smooth. Yellow and gray. I think those will look really good together. Okay, and then these. We've got the white. It's more of like an off-white, like a cream kind of color. But I still think it'll look really nice. And then the 2 silks. And then this one seems to be a bit shinier and a bit more glossy. So I'm going to start the skull with this one, I think. Let's load them up. All right, all the filament is loaded. Time to print. See you on the other side. The first attempt with the yellow Pet G had some pretty major stringing. I threw it in the dryer for a day, reprinted, and all of the issues cleared up. my goodness. I love the way this pumpkin turned out. You guys! I'm gonna print 2 more. I'm gonna print a medium and then a small. Probably not either of those 2 exact sizes. But I'm gonna print a medium and a small because I think this would look like a phenomenal finished piece. Like big, medium, small. So stay tuned. It's actually coming off pretty nicely. I was a little worried because this PETG, the supports have been a little unfriendly, a little difficult to remove, but if you just give it a good twist it comes off pretty easily. So it has some scarring back here. Not sure if you can see it, it's a little rough. It's still fine, but I think the bucket is gonna sit like on top of the truck, and so that's like a visible part. So I'm gonna reprint just this piece with some different settings. We'll see how that helps. Alright, we have finally finished printing for the video. But before the final reveal, there are some things that need to be assembled. So let's get to that, and then we'll be ready for the big reveal. This one over here is the new one. And hopefully inside you can see less bumps, which is nice. All I did was increase my top Z distance. So it was set at 0.16 and I increased it to 0.2. And it seems to have helped a little bit. It's a little smoother. I did run across it with an X-Acto knife just to break off the last few pieces, but I think it turned out a little nicer. So we'll use this one. Just should pop right into place here. Yeah, and this like opens up. Very cute so far. All right, and then these go through there, and then there are the wheels. I am gonna add a touch of glue, and I think I'm gonna use Gorilla Glue. I know there are better glues. If you know of any glues, let me know in the comments. This is all I've got on me at the moment. So I'm just gonna put a dab inside of each of the wheels. Now kind of spin it around. And of course that will need time to dry. Okay, a little dab in that wheel. Sweet. And we've got a little car. Look how cute. I love it. All right, next. This bug hotel, which I think is a very cool concept. I don't love bugs, but if they give them a place to live outside of my home, I'm good with that. It is pretty solid though, like, that's a really good resistance. Let me see how the top slides in. Pretty good. I think I can just hang that, no problem. So it goes like this. And I guess I need to probably glue the top and bottom. Okay, and then put some glue inside of here, and then that piece goes down in there. So like this will still spin, but that piece will be glued on the inside. That's pretty cool. And then this thing will get glued on right there. And then this, and I'm just gonna kind of set this off to the side and let it dry for a little bit. But overall, I think it's gonna be cool. I set it right there. We'll let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll check it out in a few minutes. We also have this piece. Pretty delicate with where these drops go. These pieces go in these slots. All right, and they slide in pretty perfectly. Lots of these little pieces. These I know go on top. So what I think I'm gonna do, I guess, is just glue around the edge. That is the sparkly side, unfortunately. That's okay. Perfect. Okay, I'm starting to see how it's gonna go together. That's gonna go like this. And I believe this door goes like this. And then these will go around each of those. door frame. All right, and I'm gonna leave whatever the rest of this stuff is for later. And now that everything has been glued and put together, let's get to the reveal. So we're gonna start with the Pet G. I was a little thrown off when I opened the package and saw that there was Pet G. What am I gonna do with Pet G? I thought I was getting only PLA, but it actually ended up working out really nicely. So the designer I ended up picking for the video was Skipper07. A lot of the models that you're gonna see are from his Makerworld. They're all free, but he does have a Patreon and I think a Things if you want to check him out and show the guy some support. His models are so cute. They're quirky, they're fun, they're very childlike, and I'm really drawn to them. I loved them. The first one I printed was the airplane. I thought it was very cute. I had some issues, but it wasn't because of the model. It was more so the filament. And it was only because I didn't dry it before I started. Once I threw the Pet G, the yellow specifically, once I threw the Pet G into the dryer, I got beautiful prints from there on out. I really liked it. It was pretty easy. The prints came out flawless. I didn't really have any issues. The one thing that you guys might be able to help me with, this sticks to the bed way too good, which is rare, I guess, that I would say that, but I'm having trouble getting the Pet G off of the build plate. So if you guys have any tips for me, please leave them in the comments. Help me out. I need this to release a little bit easier. The next piece I printed by him was the little dump truck. And I think the dump truck is so cute. It even actually dumps. The wheels actually spin. I love it. This was a very fun print, and I will be handing it over to my son as soon as I'm finished with this video. Oh, and the guy mentions in his profile that he makes all these toys for his son or his children, something like that. But it's so cute. I love them. The next thing that I printed by Skipper07 was this little bug hotel, is what he calls it, and I think it's adorable, and I plan on printing more. He also has a bunch of birdhouses that I'm excited to print, but I didn't feel like the birdhouses needed to be printed in just the gray and the yellow, so I will be purchasing more filament, more probably Pet G since it's going to be outside, and printing a lot more of his birdhouses, probably in the spring. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video. And the last model that I printed of his is this cute little house. Look how cute it is. It's adorable. The stairs, you have to be setting it down for the stairs to work, but it's so cute. It prints in parts. Besides this like main part with the white outer ring, you can print it without an AMS. And this part you probably could set the pauses to print without an AMS anyways and just do the manual color swaps. But I love this little thing. It's so cute. Maybe it's shelf worthy. Who knows? All right, so that is the designs by Skipper. They're amazing. Check out his Makerworld. Follow him on Instagram. You know the drill. That was mainly the Pet G, and then the cute little moon house at the end was added in there too. So the next thing we need to do is the PLAs. We had 2 silks and we had a white. And I think that Kingroon has this like massive 10 kg filament, really cheap pack, black and white maybe, which seems too good to be true, but I really loved the white. Let me show you. So the white came on a cardboard spool. It's the only one that came on a cardboard spool, but it's a very quality cardboard spool. I don't have any worries running this in the AMS. They've waxed the edges. It doesn't feel like it's gonna fall apart. Feels pretty quality, especially for the price. But I printed this cute little ghost. They called it a candy holder, I think, but I don't know how much candy you're fitting in this one. This is the medium. Maybe go for the large if you're gonna fill it with candy. It'd be like 3 pieces in here. But very cute. Loved this design. Printed super easily. It's like a matte finish on the white, which I am a big fan of. Don't really like glossy, so big fan of the matte. This looks very nice. I also used the white for the mummies, and those turned out really good too. I probably should have changed the purge volumes for where the face and where it would switch in filaments from the face back to the white portions, because there's one that has quite a bit of bleed, and then there's a few that have like little specks of green on them. But besides that, I think they turned out fantastic. And then of course I used the white on the moon piece as well. I loved the white. It was great. It printed great on my typical profiles that I use for my normal Overture Sunlu all of that. I do have those things slowed down, and I have their max volumetric speed lessened because they're not high-speed filaments. They are just normal filaments, and I think that kind of helps. But overall, the white was cool. And then there's these two, which initially I thought were very similar, and I actually had a hard time telling the difference between the two. But I read in one of my YouTube comments that the tricolors are 3 colors on one strand, and the multicolors, or the gradients, or whatever these are called, I guess just rainbow silk, are color changing, or they are not all 3 colors spliced together. So that is the difference. This is the tricolor, all 3 colors spliced together, and this is the color changing multicolor, both silks. So they look very similar, but they act differently once printed. The rainbow silk, I liked that one a lot, actually. My favorite piece was, of course, the skull. Becoming a real skull gal these days, but this is the Frankenstein skull, and I really liked this. It printed easily, it did have supports, they were super easy to remove, but overall I really like this, and it's very dense, so you could probably lessen the infill on this, and you'd probably still get a good print, but this is very dense, very pretty, I love it. Very happy with this print and this filament. The gradient from top to bottom, I think, looks really good. I also printed the pumpkins in that filament. My plan, I don't think worked out exactly like I was hoping it would. I really like the large pumpkin. I think the gradient from bottom to top looks phenomenal. I don't love it on the smaller pumpkin. I think it looks very muted. It didn't get much of a color change from bottom to top, and it doesn't go super well with this one, but overall, I still really liked the filament. I'm not going to blame the filament for the way the pumpkins turned out, but love the large, love the print. I'll definitely make sure this one's linked because I'm a big fan of these pumpkins. I've been continuing to print them, not with this filament, with other filaments that I already have, but love the pumpkins. Oh, and they're also candlelight, I mean tea light candles. Something like that. I don't know that I'd put a real candle in there, but like the fake battery powered ones maybe. But there's a hole in the bottom, so you can like sit the candle in there, and then up here in the top, there's like holes where the spout, or whatever this thing is, it's not a spout, but you know what I mean. There's like holes up here in the top so that the light can like come through the pumpkin. It's cool. I'm into the pumpkins. And finally, the tricolor. I did like this a lot, actually. I don't know that I would have picked a blue, green, yellow to buy for myself personally. I'm more of like a purple, pink, white kind of gal, I think. But I think this turned out really nicely. The first one I printed with it was this thing, and I think it was a good use of the filament. You can see it changes as it spins. I think it's really nice looking. And there were multiple sizes. You could have printed large, medium, and small, made a piece out of it. Really nice. I just started with the large. Came out pretty nice, and I was ready to move on to the next. But it looks pretty good. And then the house. The moon house that I loved so much. It was very fun to put together and print. I really, really liked it. I think the house turned out nice. It has the green and the blue on the outside, and then on the inside it has the green and the yellow. So you get a different look depending on what side of the house you are looking at. And then the white like pops on that multicolor filament, or the tricolor filament. I think it just looks very, very clean, very nice. I'm into it. And for the little mummies, I thought they were super cute. So I decided to add some little claw clips. I had these really crazy colored ones that I thought was gonna look pretty cool, but when I went to hang them, they didn't swivel like I wanted them to. So I traded them out for these little black ones with the swivel piece, hung them on my wire shelf, and now I have a bit of Halloween decorations ahead of time. With that being said, the Halloween videos are coming. Now that we got this one finished, that's what we're rolling out next. I've got a bookmark video planned. I've got another Makerworld type video where I print your models and find a cool creator to feature. And I'm going to be creating something else that's in the works that I don't think I'm ready to share yet. But make sure you're subscribed. Don't want to miss that. And the last thing that I need to do is get this bug hotel hung up outside my house. Let's head out there, get it hung up, and we'll be ready to wrap up the video. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun printing these amazing models. Thank you to Kingroon for sending over the filament for me to test out. It's gorgeous. I loved it. If you guys want some, it will be linked in the description. That's all I've got for you guys. Thank you to my Patreon members for all the support, for helping the channel grow, and I really appreciate you guys. If you're interested in the Patreon, the link will be in the description. I do a monthly live stream, and my personal files that I've created will be available to the top tier members. That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.